My husband said, "My sister in law is coming to our son's birthday party. Be cool about it." I nodded. Of course. What he didn't know was that I'd uncovered their secret messages and planned to reveal everything at the family gathering. I'm Emily Harper, 31, a graphic designer who works from home so I can be there for our 5-year-old every afternoon. Ryan and I have been married 6 years, and this party was supposed to be simple. Backyard barbecue, bounce house, a superhero cake I stayed up all night decorating. Then, 2 weeks ago, Ryan dropped the news over dinner. He was slicing chicken, acting casual, when he said Megan would be joining us. Megan, his younger sister, the yoga instructor who lives an hour away and usually skips family stuff unless it's a holiday. I paused with the salad tongs in my hand. Megan? She hasn't come to Aiden's birthday since he was 2. Ryan shrugged, eyes on his plate. She's been going through some things, could use the family time. I told her it's fine. He never asked me, just decided, and the way he said family time stuck in my throat like a bone. That night, after Aiden was asleep and Ryan was in the shower, his phone lit up on the counter with a text preview. "Can't wait to see you Saturday. Miss our talks." From Megan, my stomach flipped. I knew I shouldn't, but I picked it up, unlocked, because he still uses our wedding date. The messages went back months. Inside jokes, late night vents about me, heart emojis. One from last week. Sometimes I wonder if we'd fought harder for us. My hands shook as I screenshotted everything, emailed it to myself, and cleared the history. Ryan came out toweling his hair, clueless. I smiled and said the cake needed another layer of frosting. If you've ever had to smile while your world cracks, please share your story with us. The next morning, I opened Instagram on my laptop while Aiden colored at the table. Ryan had left early for a showing, so the house was quiet. I searched Megan's profile first. Public, full of yoga poses and quotes about finding your center. Her tagged photos led me to Tyler Brooks, her fiancé, clean-cut guy in button-downs, accountant at a firm downtown. Their engagement post from 5 months ago showed them at a vineyard, caption reading, "Forever starts now." I scrolled further. Couple hikes, double dates, Thanksgiving with his parents. No sign Megan ever mentioned needing family time because she was struggling. My coffee went cold as I stared at a story from last night. Megan and Ryan at a coffee shop, her hand on his arm laughing. Tagged location 20 minutes from our house. I created a new account with a generic flower avatar and messaged Tyler, "Hi, you don't know me, but I'm Emily, married to Ryan Harper, Megan's brother. She's coming to our son's birthday this weekend, and Ryan says it's to support her through a tough time. Your posts look happy together. Thought you should know." I attached one screenshot, the Miss Our Talks text, blurred the rest. He replied in minutes, "Who is this?" I sent my real number. My phone buzzed. Tyler's voice was tight. "Megan told me she was visiting her mom this weekend. What's going on?" I kept it factual. The party invite, the messages, the lies about her being upset. He went silent, then said he'd never seen her act secretive before. By the end, he asked for the address. "I need to hear it from her," he said. I gave it, adding, "Bring whatever you want to ask. Just be here Saturday at 2. He thanked me, voice shaking, and hung up. I closed the laptop, heart racing, and started sketching the cake topper. A tiny cape for Aiden's favorite hero. The week flew by in a blur of balloons and fake smiles. Ryan kept texting Megan about arrival times, what sides to bring, even asked if she wanted to help blow up the bounce house. I nodded along while piping blue frosting into perfect swirls, pretending the extra practice was for Aiden's cake. Every night he came home, buzzing about how great it would be to have his sister there, how she needed this. I'd murmur agreement and head to my office to tweak client logos until midnight, anything to avoid the bed we now shared like strangers. Sarah Jenkins, my older sister, called Thursday to confirm she was bringing the kids and her famous mac and cheese. "You sound off," she said after I rattled off the menu. I brushed it away with work stress, but she pushed until I spilled about the messages, minus the full screenshots. "That's not normal sibling stuff," she replied, voice low so her twins wouldn't hear. "Want me to come early Saturday?" I told her yes, 1 o'clock, and felt a small weight lift, knowing at least one person had my back. Friday evening, Ryan insisted we run to the party store for extra streamers. In the car, he reached for my hand, said how proud he was of the setup I'd planned. I let him hold it, nails digging into my palm. At home, I wrapped Aiden's gifts alone while Ryan showered, stacking them under the superhero banner I designed at 3 a.m. The house smelled like vanilla and grilled burgers from the test run. Everything looked perfect on the surface, ready for 20 kids and a lie that was about to crack wide open. Saturday arrived with clear skies and the smell of fresh-cut grass. Sarah showed up first, unloading trays while her twins raced to the bounce house. Ryan fired up the grill, flipping burgers and chatting with neighbors who'd brought potato salad. Aiden darted between legs in his cape, shrieking with friends. I arranged juice boxes and snapped photos for the memory book, forcing laughs when parents complimented the decorations. Megan pulled in at 1:30, yoga mat slung over her shoulder like she'd just left class. She hugged Ryan tight, longer than necessary, then waved at me with a bright, "Thanks for having me." I returned the smile and pointed her toward the drink table. Linda and Greg Harper, Ryan's parents, arrived next. Linda carrying a gift bag, Greg balancing a cooler of sodas. They made a beeline for Aiden, scooping him up for grandma kisses and grandpa tickles. By 2 o'clock, the backyard buzzed with 20 kids and twice as many adults. Ryan passed Megan a plate, their heads close as they picked at sides. I circulated, refilling chips when the gate creaked open. Tyler stepped through in khakis and a polo, holding a small wrapped box, eyes scanning until they landed on Megan. She froze mid-bite, for covering. Ryan followed her gaze and dropped his spatula with a clatter that cut through the music. Tyler stepped forward, phone in hand, and the backyard chatter faded to a murmur. Megan, care to explain why you're here instead of at your mom's?" His tone stayed level, but the words sliced through the grill smoke. Megan's face drained of color. She set her plate down hard enough for the plastic fork to bounce off. Ryan bent to pick up the spatula, buying seconds, then straightened with a forced chuckle. "Tyler, man, this is Aiden's party. Let's not do this now." I moved closer to the cake table, arms crossed. "Actually, now works perfectly." Tyler ignored Ryan and held up his screen toward Megan. "You told me family emergency. Emily says different." He scrolled to the blurred screenshot I'd sent, voice rising just enough for nearby parents to turn. Megan glanced at Ryan, eyes pleading, but he stared at the grass. "It's not what you think," she started, stepping back as kids paused their game to watch. Tyler read aloud, "Miss our talks. Sometimes wonder if we fought harder. That sound like sibling support to you?" Gasps rippled from the picnic tables. Linda clutched Greg's arm. Sarah pulled her twins behind her. Ryan finally spoke, voice tight. "Those are private. You had no right." Tyler shot back. "Private? You lied to my face about this weekend." Megan tried again. "We were just venting. Nothing happened." But her words cracked, and Ryan wouldn't meet anyone's eyes. I pulled out my own phone, opened the full thread, and held it up. Venting includes heart emojis at 2 a.m., complaining about me while planning secret coffee dates. The screen faced the group. A neighbor leaned in to read. Megan lunged for it, but Sarah blocked her path with a quiet, "Don't." Ryan's face flushed deep red, hands balling into fists at his sides. Tyler pocketed his phone and looked straight at me. "Thanks for the heads up. I'm out." He turned toward the gate, gift box still in grip. Ryan's face turned red as he grabbed Megan's arm and pulled her toward the patio. "What the hell were you thinking telling him?" Megan yanked free, voice pitching high. "Me? You're the one who kept pushing for more time together." Their argument spilled over the music. Kids stopped bouncing to stare. Greg tried herding parents back to the food table, but no one moved. Linda whispered, "Ryan, lower your voice." Yet he ignored her and jabbed a finger at Tyler's retreating back. "This is exactly why I didn't want him involved." Megan spun on me, eyes blazing. "You set this up. Happy now?" I met her glare without flinching. "Happy? No. Done pretending, yes." Sarah stood beside me, arms folded, while neighbors formed a loose circle. Ryan tried damage control, facing the group. It's blown out of proportion, nothing physical, just bad judgment. Megan cut in. Speak for yourself. You said Emily was holding you back. The words hung heavy. A mom covered her child's ears. Tyler paused at the gate, turned once. Keep the gift for Aiden. I'm gone. He slipped out, engine roaring down the street seconds later. Ryan lunged after him but stopped short when Greg blocked the path. Let him go, son! Megan snatched her keys from the table, knocking over a stack of cups. I never should have come. She stormed past Linda, who reached out but pulled back empty-handed. I raised my voice over the chaos. Everyone, party's over for us. Ryan, we're finished? Pack tonight or I change the locks. Gasps echoed louder than the earlier reading. Sarah nodded firm approval. A dad muttered support under his breath. Ryan stared at me, mouth open, then at the ruined cake smeared across the grass where a kid had tripped. Megan slammed her car door outside, tires squealing away. Guests shuffled out in awkward waves, murmuring goodbyes while avoiding eye contact. Sarah gathered her kids' shoes and whispered she'd call later. Linda hovered near the grill, twisting a napkin until Greg guided her inside with a quiet, "Give them space." Aiden tugged my sleeve, confused why the bounce house deflated so fast. I knelt, promised ice cream tomorrow, and handed him to a neighbor heading home. Ryan blocked the sliding door, voice low. Emily, can we talk inside? Alone? I shook my head, stacking abandoned paper plates. Nothing left to say here. He followed me to the trash bin anyway, pleading. It was stupid texting, not an affair. We can fix this. His words echoed empty against the scattered wrappers. Megan's car was long gone. Tire marks streaked the driveway. Linda returned with a trash bag, eyes red. I raised you better, she told Ryan, then turned to me. Stay as long as you need. Greg nodded agreement, loading the cooler. Ryan tried again, louder. You're embarrassing us in front of everyone. A dad pausing at his truck called back. You did that yourself, buddy? Ryan's shoulders slumped. He kicked at a balloon string. I faced him one last time. Lawyer's number is on the counter. Be out by morning. He opened his mouth, closed it, then disappeared into the house. Sarah texted from the car. Proud of you. Call anytime. The yard emptied until only crumpled streamers and half-eaten cake remained under the fading sun. 3 months later, the paper sat signed on my desk. Ryan moved into a studio downtown after losing 2 big listings. Word spreads fast in real estate circles. He still calls every weekend for Aiden time, shows up on schedule, but the conversations stay short. Megan packed a U-Haul and headed to Ohio last, I heard. Cut ties with the family group chat. Tyler sent a card thanking me again. Said he's dating someone new and dodged a bigger mess. I kept the house, refinanced solo, and turned the guest room into a bigger office. Clients rolled in steady. Turns out superhero logos sell year-round. Aiden asks about Daddy sometimes, but lights up when Sarah brings her kids over for movie nights. Linda drops casseroles on Fridays, always with a tight hug and no mention of Ryan. Looking back, I learned trust isn't a switch you flip back on. Secrets rot faster in silence, and protecting my son means protecting my peace first. Some bridges burn so you can build stronger ones. Aiden's 6th birthday will be smaller. Just us, Sarah's crew, and a store-bought cake. No drama, no lies, just real laughs. That's the win I keep.